Welcome to Be Great Today, your weekly inspirational podcast. I am Jonathan Bloom. I am also known as Frasley Sparkspan, the gnome that sings random lyrics to songs in voice chat during World of Warcraft game sessions. Today, let's leave that comfy cushion, leave that comfortable chair. Let's step out of our comfort zone. You probably already know this term, the quote that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Let me tell you that this is entirely true in my life. It can be easy to get comfortable. It can be hard to have to make a change. For example, I was going to a church that I really enjoyed. I knew people there. People knew my name. I helped run the video camera for sermons. I was looking to get more deeply involved. Then something happened. I was being asked to sign a covenant that I didn't agree with to continue running their camera. I did a lot of thinking, prayer, and talked it over with wise counsel in my life. Things weren't going to change. This moment gave me a choice. I can either continue just attending, or I can look for a new opportunity. It was painful making this next step. I moved to the church where my sister attends. I had been there in the past. I started attending, which felt so weird as few people knew me. After a time, I decided to become a member there. That step of loyalty was one I did not take lightly. For example, I had not been a member of my former church. I was going to and was even starting the process until this covenant issue happened. So becoming a member at this new church was scary for me. I was taking a leap of faith. I can now say that I am glad I stepped out of my comfort zone. I am now over a year since I changed. I helped with VBS. I got to perform in the Summer Children's Series. I helped run the Children's Welcome Desk. People know me by name now. I mentioned this story as it was very painful when I went through it. One of the pillars in my life was being shaken. A year later, I am stronger. It just took going out of my comfort zone. Another aspect of comfort zone is when you are called to go into difficult places. I have been to prison. I was part of a prison ministry for a season called Kairos. I got to visit men in prison, men who have done things, been through things. It was a scary prospect to think of going there. What I found has changed me, changed my perspective of people. Many I met went down a wrong path. They would change and undo everything if they could. It doesn't excuse what they did, but I realized how all of us are vulnerable to temptation to do what they did. I would never have been changed if I hadn't gone out of my comfort zone. I hope to one day return to Kairos. It was a humbling experience for me. Right now, schedules aren't working for it, but I continue to pray for the men I met. I'm hoping to also help those who are walking down the same path. It's part of one of my life goals. Show people their self-worth, show how they are loved, and do what I can to foster their skills. An arsonist has a talent with fire, but they used it for evil. Imagine what they could accomplish if they used their creativity for good things, used their knowledge to prevent fires. So many people have their abilities fostered for bad purposes. You may now realize I am a ballroom dancer if you have been following my podcast. This was a hobby I started after watching Malcolm in the Middle. I saw Malcolm and Reese learn how to dance in 2 separate episodes. Then my parents started taking lessons at a studio called Invitation to Dance. I tagged along for a group lesson. It was scary that first lesson. I took that first step out of my comfort zone. Now, 9 years later, I am competing as well as performing in the annual studio showcase. I have learned so much since I started. It has changed my life in more ways than I count. Just took stepping out of my comfort zone. Starting these podcasts has been a weekly pursuit in stepping out of my comfort zone. I have had to get over my fear of public speaking. That may sound strange, but it took getting past fear to begin building the skill of being behind a microphone. I still have a ways to go. It will be a lifelong pursuit, but I hope I can provide weekly awesome content. Yes, I just used the name of the site that showcases my weekly podcasts. Finally, I step out of my comfort zone each time I start a new course in college. Each one is different from the one prior. I have had to move away from the fear of the final result to just doing the best I can on each assignment. Life is a test, as my friend Jim York says. School trains you for the test by providing the solutions beforehand. Life gives you a test, and you have to figure out how to solve it. By the way, Jim York is someone I am planning to interview on a future episode. He went out of his comfort zone to get a fire truck donated to Belize. What I am doing now is building me up for my future. I just have to step out of my comfort zone every course. I have many more stories of stepping out of my comfort zone. I also can go into more detail on the stories I shared. I plan to delve into these more in future episodes. If you would like to chat with me about comfort zones, step out and email me at podcast@b-great.today. What are some areas where you can step out today? Where do you feel stalled in your life? I hope I have given you inspiration on how stepping out of your comfort zone can be beneficial. It takes that first step. As I said in an earlier episode, episode 7, it can take baby steps. Thank you for listening this week. This has been Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, aka Frasley Sparksman in World of Warcraft. You can find this episode at b-great.today/9. If you found this helpful, please share with your friends. You never know. Stepping out of your comfort zone may help them become great today. Until next Sunday, be awesome.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.
It can get easy to get comfortable. It can get easy. It can get easy. It can get easy. Okay. It can be easy to get comfortable.